بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to iQra, Introductory Quran Recitation Assistance. Today, inshallah, we're going to be learning Al-Fatiha, the first surah or chapter of the Quran. Surah Al-Fatiha is the most important surah to learn because you'll have to use it in your prayers every day. This surah is what we always recite in the standing position of the prayer. The name of the surah, Al-Fatiha, means the opening because it is the opening of the Quran. Understood properly, it is a summary of all of Islam, covering some of the most fundamental aspects of our deen. So first, inshallah, let's look at the translation of the meaning in English. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, the immediately merciful, the always merciful. Praise belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the immediately merciful, the always merciful, owner of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we seek for aid. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you showered favor, nothing like the recipients of anger, nor the lost. Ameen. Inshallah, let's go over each ayah or verse, so you have a good understanding of the English before learning the Arabic. Whenever we recite the Quran, we begin by seeking Allah's protection from shaitan, by saying, I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. Keep in mind that this line is not part of the surah, but should be recited whenever you recite this or any surah. Next, this surah, like almost every surah in the Quran, begins in Allah's name. We say, in the name of Allah, the immediately merciful, the always merciful. Along with Allah's name, two of Allah's attributes are mentioned, showing that Allah is being incredibly, unimaginably merciful now, and will also continue to be merciful always. As the first words of the Quran, this is how Allah introduces Himself. The next three ayat tell us all about Allah. Praise belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds. So all praise and all thanks belong ultimately to Allah. Referring to Allah as Lord means that Allah has both ownership and authority over all worlds. And worlds is referring to worlds of people. Now, usually when you think of a Lord or Master, you think of someone oppressive, but Allah is a different kind of Lord. The next ayah repeats the attributes of Allah, the immediately merciful, the always merciful. In balance with Allah's mercy is His justice. The following ayah tells us that Allah is owner of the day of judgment. So the previous three ayat told us about Allah, and the next ayah tells us about our relationship with Allah. You alone we worship, and you alone we seek for aid. The last ayat are about us, the worshippers of Allah. Like we just mentioned in the previous verse, now we're seeking aid from Allah. We're asking Him for help. And what's the first thing we're asking Him for help with? Guidance. Guide us to the straight path. The way the Arabic is phrased, it actually means guide us to, through, and along the straight path. So not only are you asking Allah to show you how to get to the straight path, you're asking Him to guide you through it, from beginning to end, and to accompany you along the way. The path is described as the path of those upon whom you showered favor, nothing like the recipients of anger, nor the lost. When using Surah Al-Fatiha in our salah, we end it by saying Ameen, which is the same as the English word Amen. Inshallah, now that you understand the meaning in English, let's take a look at the actual Arabic.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين
With Arabic grammar, when words are joined together in a sentence, they may be pronounced differently than the way they're pronounced in isolation. So, let's look at each word individually, understand the meaning, master the pronunciation, and then put it all together. Inshallah.
Bismillah. Okay, let's start with the first line. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. So let's break it in half to make it easier. We'll start with I seek refuge with Allah. So let's look at the words in Arabic. A'udhu means I seek refuge. When you say a'udhu, make sure you make the ayn sound on the u, not on the a. Bih means with, and Allah means Allah. So a'udhu bih Allah. The only change we're going to make here is we're going to combine bih with Allah to make billah. So we have a'udhu billah. Now the next part is from Satan the accursed. So in Arabic, min means from, al means the, and get used to al because you'll be seeing it a lot. Shaitan means Satan, and make sure that's the emphatic T, pa. Al means the, and rajim means accursed. So min al shaitan al rajim. A lot of times the L in al is going to change to match the sound of the letter in front of it. Not all letters change al, but sh and r both do, so this is going to become ash-shaytan ar-rajim. Another common change we're going to make is to either add or change a vowel sound between words. So we're going to do that here. So ar-rajim is going to be ir-rajim. So you'll start to see that those are probably the two most common changes we make. So let's put them together. The only change we have to make here, like we just talked about, we're going to add a vowel. After the H is going to be an I. So it's going to be a'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Once again, a'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at the next line. In the name of Allah, the immediately merciful, the always merciful. So let's break it up. Start with just in the name of Allah. So in Arabic, bih means in, ism means name, and Allah means Allah. So bih, ism, Allah. The first thing we're going to do is combine bih with ism to make bism. Then we're going to combine bism with Allah to make bismillah. Great, so let's take a look at the second part. The immediately merciful, the always merciful. So in Arabic, al means the, Rahman means immediately merciful. Make sure that's that hard H. Al means the, and Rahim means always merciful. So we have Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim. The first thing we're going to do is change the L's to R's, like we said earlier. Sometimes the L's in Al change to the letter in front of them. Also, we're going to just change the A to an I. That's it. So we have Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Now we're going to combine those two parts together, just change the A to an I, and have Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Once again, Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Awesome, next line. Praise belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds. So we'll start with just praise belongs to Allah. So in Arabic, al means the, hamd means praise with a hard H, lih means belongs to, it's possessive, and Allah means Allah. So al, hamd, lih, Allah. The first change we're going to make is we're going to combine lih with Allah to make lillah. Then we're going to just put a U at the end of the hamd to make alhamdulillah. And the rest of the line is Lord of the worlds. So in Arabic, Rabb with a doubled B means Lord, Al means the, and Alameen means worlds. Make sure you make that A sound. So Rabb, Al, Alameen. We're only going to make one change here. We're just going to change the A to an I. So that makes the line Rabbil Alameen. So let's put the two parts together. We're just going to put an I after the H. And that's going to make the whole line Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Once again, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. MashaAllah, you're doing great. Let's move on to the next ayah. The immediately merciful.